Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie. I am the senior editor here, and I'm thrilled today to bring you a discussion about everything UJET, discussing the CCaaS vendor's vision, differentiators, and roadmap. And who better to have that conversation with than UJET's new co-CEO, Vil Triant. So, Vasily, thanks very much for joining me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Charlie. Thanks for having me here. It's a beautiful time of year and definitely exciting times going on in our industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and very exciting times at UJET specifically too. And let's get right into that conversation. And as you kind of take on this new co-CEO role, it'd be great to know kind of what excites you most about UJET's vision for the future.
Well, I think that we're at a great inflection point within the industry right now where not only is the cloud contact center applications taking hold in the market and becoming a focal point for many businesses, but also the introduction of AI and generative AI as one of the primary use cases for, those applications, right? So actually within contact center. So when you look at customers that are looking at like, where do I apply this technology? Like the number one use case is contact center. So it's really exciting. A lot of things going on in the market. Definitely, everything from the competitive side as well as like the expansion of applications and customer interest, which, my passion's always been in being able to affect our experiences as end users. And it's finally that time where everybody is looking at, us as customers and how we can make those experiences better.
Yeah, and I think to an extent as well, UJET, in terms of that kind of balancing AI and Gen AI, UJET's always been somewhat ahead of the game. I mean, with the design of its CCaaS platform, the ability to sort of blend different modalities with AI to kind of design that and orchestrate that best fit customer journey for every sort of customer intent. And I know kind of that's something we've spoken a bit deeper about before, but now kind of you're in that co-CEO role. I don't know if you can tell us about what you're going to do that's going to help kind of make that vision more of a reality for more of your customers.
Well, I think the biggest thing around my new role is I'm very active in the direction of both what we're doing within the product, like not actually just running product, but more around how are we expanding our portfolio and what are the other applications that we want to bring into the fold, and then translating that more into the go-to-market vision. So if I really kind of looked at, what we've been a very engineering heavy focused company. Like we build a lot of cool features, a lot of cool things, but now it's time like to get those out to the market, right? And that is like your shift now into more of a go to market focused organization, which is everything from the sales teams and where we sell one type of avenue or how we sell each, type of segment of customers. And then also what alliances do we need in the market to really make a lot of those things reality? Because as much as the market is moving towards a kind of one throat to choke, portfolio of applications and end to end, it is still very much like having to have an ecosystem in order to kind of bring those phases about when a customer is looking at that transformation. And so there's a lot of focus that I'm putting on that already within our partnerships as well as our go-to-market teams.
Yeah, and I think we've written before actually at Six there a bit about UJET's channel strategy, and I think it's kind of very smart in what you're doing, and kind of maybe not having such as broader focus as many of your rivals, but really focusing on those few partners, those few big partners, really building strong relationships to make sure that you're delivering for them and they're delivering for your customers as well. And I'm sure I can leave a link into that article as well for anybody who wants to delve deeper. But I maybe given the game away a little bit already on this next question that I have to ask you. But I did want to ask you kind of how UJET kind of already differentiates within the CCaaS space, and talk a little bit about your differentiators too. Yes, I don't know if you can talk to those as well.
Yeah, so there's a couple different, well, actually there's more than a couple. There's a few different, I'll call it differentiators that there are pivotal points when we're talking with customers, right? One of them at the core level, at the foundational level, is we're just built differently. We were built with scale and reliability as really foundational concepts. And so we're able to scale larger and faster and more automated than really anybody else on the market. And then we're more reliable and available, right? And that's really due to how we've structured the software. So when you think about the core components that existed in the on-premise world as you're translating into the cloud world, like those we have as the foundational components. I call these the Achilles heel of our market, but that's one. The second is we, from our inception, had the idea of a single system of record. And that is because we believe that all the data needed to be in one place for a variety of different reasons. It's for security. It's because customers want it there. Well, the business customers, right? But then also when you look forward, like how we were going to take that data and action it to turn into some tangible results, you had to get to a single system of record. Now, at the time, we didn't really think about AI specifically, but it was more around intent-based routing, predictive routing, proactive routing. Now we can do all this with AI and generative AI. But if you don't have that data in one place, then you're making decisions based on disparate pieces. And so it does become a little bit messy. And that is actually one of the pivotal points when you want to mature in your AI journey as a business. You really need to have that data strategy mapped out. And inherently, like, we don't really make you kind of have decisions on that. We already have a single system of record designed with customers' other data strategies already in place. So there's some really cool things we just do there out of the box, and it's definitely unique in how we do that. And then the last part is we've thought about AI being embedded into the applications from kind of the beginning. When I call it the beginning, it's really the front end when customers touch a business, through the back end when you're now reporting and trying to, kind of come full circle and understanding what you just did in the actions throughout a day or a week, and then mature your processes from there. And so like when I talk with, folks that implement our technologies or use our technologies, this is the core difference on the market, is that when you're programming flows and things within the applications, the AI and the live agent interaction goes hand in hand. And if you build one without thinking about the other, the bads are it doesn't really flow well together. The goods are it's so integrated that you actually have to build both together. When you look at the market, what happens is everybody's built in kind of bolt-ons, right? You pick an AI strategy and then you bolt it to a contact center. And so you could say that's customer choice, but what you really deliver there out of the end is that you and me as end users touching a business you can feel the unnatural handoff between automation and live agent, or you don't get all the benefits when you think about first contact resolution and data flowing seamlessly between those applications. And so I really think those are the three. I mean, there's a lot of other, we could get into like a lot of knit and niggle features, but I always tell people when you're into knit and niggle features, I mean, that's like, looking at one car versus another and where the air conditioning vents are and, is the shifter on the column or on the floor kind of thing. But those are kind of the core benefits, and that really bring tangible results to our customers as well as to you and I as end users.
Yeah, again, lots of really great stuff there, Vasily. And I think for me, the point that really sort of stuck with me was especially around that data management piece. I mean, I've been into quite a small contact center which had 4, I think maybe even 5 just data stores before, and just the downsides that had for its agents, and then the knock-on effect for customers, and obviously other metrics, crucial business metrics like average handling time, just from agents having to keep going across these different data stores. And then when you bring in AI over the top of that, having one central data store, I mean, is huge. And so lots of really great stuff within there, though. And also people watching this may have seen the recent news that UJET recently received a 76 million funding injection. I think it was a Series D from a Series D funding round. I mean, I guess the logical question for me that comes next is kind of where will UJET leverage those funds and sort of innovate, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's really 2 things that you would look at, or we would look at, leveraging the funding for. I mean, ultimately our goal is to drive more towards self-sufficiency within the business. But when we look at kind of like where some injections of things we want to do, one is to, increase our go-to-market efforts. So as we talked about before, right, we're really focused on channel partners, both on the UJET business, but also we have a very big focus with our OEM partner with Google. And so we continue to assist and drive a lot of the expansion of that program. And then the second part is around product, right? And that really bifurcates into two pieces. One is investing where we want to build our own kind of IP and things where we feel like we could do some things very different than, whether that's gaps of things that don't exist on the market or things where really the technologies need to come into a new age. And so we might continue to enhance or expand our product portfolio there. And then also, where do we want to look at either deepening alliances and or some inorganic options, right? And so there's places where you might accelerate the breadth of the portfolio by doing some inorganic things as a business. So we're looking really at both those things. Those are big focus items for me right now, because that's where our customers want us to go. That's where the prospects are asking us to go. And so we're going to invest in those places.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as an addendum to that, I imagine some of the innovation might go to more of these capabilities aimed at the mid-market, as I know UJET very much differentiates in that space. And it's a big problem actually for a lot of mid-market companies buying a CCaaS solution. Even they have to buy something that's way too big for them, and they kind of leverage just a fraction of that, or kind of leverage lots of different point solutions and sort of integrate them together. So I think that's another, maybe it goes back to the differentiator question, but for me, I think it's almost like what HubSpot's done in CRM is what UJET's kind of doing in CCaaS. That's my comparison. But yeah, I can blabber on for a long time talking about UJET's differentiators, because I think the journey that you're on is fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next. But I think that's a great place to end today's conversation. So thanks very much for joining me today, Vasily.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, Charlie.
Absolutely. And also thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.